Good afternoon, my loves. Just your daily manifestation reminder from me to you that everything is working out. Everything is unfolding perfectly for you. You are not to give up. You are not going to give up. You are not going to give in to your circumstances. You are not going to let that little voice in your head that says, this is hopeless. What if it doesn't work out for me? What if I don't get what I want? Blah, blah, blah. You're not going to let that little voice in your head convince you that you can't have what you want, because you can have what you want, because creation is done. All realities exist. You are selecting a different reality, just like you would go into a supermarket and you'd select something different if you didn't like the thing that you had. You're selecting a different reality, and the way you experience this reality is by thinking thoughts that match that reality. So if I wanted to be in a reality where I was super rich and super wealthy, I would start identifying and thinking as someone that is super rich and super wealthy, which would mean I would have to ignore circumstances that would be opposing to that. So if I had circumstances where I had bills coming out of my ears left, right, and centre, and I didn't have enough money, and I wasn't wealthy, although I'm aware of that, that's my 3D, that would be, as an example, would be my 3D reality, I still have the choice, the freedom to think as a wealthy, abundant person. Just because circumstances may show differently, I still have the freedom to choose what goes on in my mind. And if we know that imagination is where all things are done, we go in our imagination and we become consciously aware of I amness of I am wealthy, I am rich, I have so much money, I am so successful, like whatever it is that you want. These are just examples, by the way. You start identifying as that person, because so many people go, yeah, but how can I think that when my 3D is like the opposite and I've got so many bills and blah, 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 blah? You may have. However, that doesn't stop you from thinking differently. And if you understand that your 3D is just reflecting your old thinking, your old state of consciousness, you are choosing a different state of consciousness. You are choosing to now be consciously aware of someone that is wealthy, abundant, has plenty. All you're doing is changing your thinking. You're just thinking as if you already have the money, the wealth, the abundance. Ask yourself, what would I be thinking if I had so much money right now? What I wouldn't be thinking is, oh my God, I've got all these bills to pay. Oh my God. Like, I understand that in the 3D, you still need to pay your bills and still need to sort things out. I understand that, but you can do so. You can sort these things out as well as maintaining that inner story. Remember, it doesn't matter what you're doing in the 3D as long as you're not reacting. Okay, so you can try and come up with some way to pay your bills in the 3D or whatever you're doing. But in the meantime, in your imagination, you're imagining you're wealthy. I have so much money, my bills are paid, everything worked out perfectly for me. You're just changing your thinking. And I'm not saying it's always easy. I don't want to have that belief. I don't want you to have that belief that it's not easy. But what I'm saying is, I know some of you find it difficult, especially if you're new to this. However, with that being said, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. You can change your thinking. If you persist in this new thinking, your reality is going to reflect the change within you. So if you want to be wealthy and abundant, or if you want to be in that beautiful, loving relationship with your specific person or a person in general, if you want to have a family, if you want to move to a different house, if you want to move abroad, if you want to start your own business, if you want to be successful, if you want to have that body you want, you can have all of those things, because there's a version of you existing right now in an alternate reality that already has them. And you're just tapping into that version. You are identifying as that version. And as you choose to identify as that version, the reality that version that version is in is going to be your reality, because it's going to reflect who you're choosing to be. You're slipping into that character. You're becoming that version. Okay, so keep going.